Hello, this video will provide an overview of several key features of FortiEndpoint. The following items will be covered: the dashboard, the endpoints and endpoint profiles, especially web filtering and malware protection, then security posture tags, ZTNA, EDR, DLP, AI visibility and control, and AI assist. Let's get started. This is the default view after logging in, the dashboard. This view displays all relevant information, such as system and license information and how many licenses are being used, serial numbers, and so forth, the number of endpoints that are online and offline, how many endpoints are managed and unmanaged, and a view of EDR alerts. I'll dive into this component in another video. You can also populate the dashboard with more information by clicking on the Manage widget. This displays all the contents available to provide a consolidated view. The other view under Dashboard is the Vulnerability Scan view. This displays all the vulnerabilities discovered on the endpoint by the agent. Administrators can look at this page and see which clients are out of compliance and requires patching. Let's look into all the endpoints that are in this EMS. The top displays a summary of endpoint status, whether client agent is installed, not registered, out of sync, security risks, and quarantined. The table below displays the details per endpoint: device name, username, IP address, the policy assigned to the endpoint, whether the endpoint is connected to the EMS and being monitored, and also all the alerts in the last hand column identifying which endpoint profiles have alerts. When you hover over each icon, that displays the profile names. Let's now look over the endpoint profiles that are configured. There are many options you can configure shown in the left menu, such as remote access, video filter, vulnerability scan, sandbox, and so on. For this video, I'll concentrate on web filter and malware protection. In web filter, let's look at one of the profiles that is already configured. There is a default profile which can be modified or cloned to start. Let's look at JC underscore WF1 profile. So you can see in the display, there are many features that can be enabled or disabled depending on your environment. Here at the top, it shows this web filter profile is enabled. Right below are features such as timeout, logging, and safe search that can be enabled or disabled. The key component for web filter is monitoring the categories users are accessing and the actions configured. Let's look at the adult/mature content category. Clicking on the icon displays the actions that can be configured, which are allowed, block, monitor, and warn. Clicking on the plus icon displays the specific category of actions configured. Majority is configured to be blocked and others are being monitored. Everything in bandwidth consuming is set to monitor. The same actions are configured for the other categories too. You can also select the region for FortiGuard Intel updates. For this setup, it is set to update from US location. You can also add URLs your organization uses and know it is safe to the exclusion list. Next, let's look at malware protection configuration. Again, there is a default profile to start, but we'll look at the JCAV1 profile that's already been cloned. There are many options that can be enabled or disabled. By default, antivirus protection and real-time protection are enabled. Again, many features are configurable, such as actions on virus discovery and real-time protection. Those are deny access to infected files, ignore infected files, or quarantine infected files. The same actions are available in the on-demand scanning portion. Now let's look at Zero Trust tags configuration under Security Posture tag. Different OS are supported as displayed in the Add New Rules pane. There are 21 different rules that can be configured. Here are some of the options. This table displays the ones that are already configured, such as high-risk vulnerability, AV disabled, EDR running or not, and FortiClient 7.4.6 and greater is installed. In the Tag Monitor screen, it displays which endpoints meets those rules. Going back to the endpoints, let's look at the WinTME client. Here it shows all the different tags that have been associated with it. This view shows more than tag information. There are content on overall system health, ranging from OS, IP addresses, hardware details, the EMS connection status, client version, and the administrator can request forensic analysis from Fortinet's FortiGuard team. And endpoint health is displayed in regards to the profile status. This shows all the configured ones are okay. Now let's check the Windows client desktop and see what tags are displayed in FortiClient. The same tags are associated as well on this client. There are two ways to access the EDR screen. First is to click on the EDR Unhandled Security Events tile, or second, via the three bars icon on the bottom right corner, clicking on the EDR option. Now, let's get into seeing all the unhandled events in EDR. This view displays all the unhandled events. However, near the top, there are different options for displaying, such as event status, security event types, and alerts timeframe. The icons display at the left lets the administrator know which events have updates and which ones are new. For this demonstration, we'll look at the execution of the Windows Update.exe file. Clicking on one of the incidences displays a flowchart along with the Investigate button. Clicking on that brings up an overview. This displays vital information such as activity, audit, other clients that also executed the file, policies violated, and if you hover over the policy names, it'll provide more information as well. And MITRE ATT&CK mapping. The event analysis provides details of all the processes Windows_update.exe executed. This view displays file and client information at the top, and right below that is the flow of the execution. Let's drill down by expanding the view. You can see the different files being executed: SMSS, WinLogon, Explorer, then Windows_update.exe, and ends with execution of cloud.exe. Let's look into exactly what Windows_update.exe try to do. On the right side, the admin can add this file to a block list, remediate, and retrieve more information if needed. Below that are more details related to the files. At the bottom, a list of all the processes executed is shown, such as file read, process creation, library loaded. You can drill down to display the specific files executed by clicking on the File option. This displays file read, write, and create type functions executed. If the administrator needs more data, connection to the device can be performed, as well as isolate the device and move the device to a higher security group for further analysis. Here is a short demonstration of the DLP capabilities in FortiEndpoint. The dashboard displays DLP information in addition to the standard endpoint content. The DLP widgets show DLP detection by severity, DLP feature health, feature upgrade status, and top 10 endpoints with DLP detections. Let's look at the medium severity alerts. These alerts show users searching on how to disable DLP and uploading files. Clicking on the web search one displays the event details such as event type, description, policy information, and others. Now let's look at the high severity alert. This one is for audio and video file download. Again, clicking on the alert displays the detail. Selecting lab-C44-LT1 displays on the right side at the bottom shows the status of DLP installation. An endpoint that has DLP installed will display the OK status. Let's look into AI visibility and control in FortiEndpoint. Start by opening the AI applications from the left menu to list all the AI applications there. For this demo, the OpenClaw will be utilized. To see which endpoint is using OpenClaw, click on OpenClaw, then View Users. A pop-out on the right displays two endpoints. As you can see, OpenClaw status is allowed. Let's access the Ubuntu client and launch OpenClaw. The application opens without any issues. Going back to the EMS console, let's block OpenClaw by clicking on the block option. The status changed to blocked. Back on the client, executing OpenClaw results in the FortiClient displaying a message stating the application is blocked by the EMS administrator. Events are generated and details can be viewed in all events. This video will demonstrate some of the FortiAI capabilities in FortiEndpoint. Let's get started by clicking on the FortiAI icon on the top right. This opens up a window to interact with FortiAI. The first query is to show the top 10 vulnerable endpoints. If you want to see what FortiAI is doing, click on the Show Tasks. The requested top 10 vulnerable endpoints are displayed. The next query is for critical vulnerabilities for endpoint lab C44LT1. The results display a detailed list of the vulnerabilities name, category, severity, and associated CVEs. Next, let's ask FortiAI to generate a tag targeting the Chrome out-of-bounds write CVEs. As you can see, a tag is generated to cover the different operating systems. The created tag can be seen by clicking on the Security Postures option on the left. Next, let's ask FortiAI to display all the endpoints associated with this tag. There's only one, Lab C44LT1. To validate on the EMS, click on the tag monitor and the tag name displays the endpoint associated with this tag. Next, let's ask FortiAI to send a message to the endpoint, notifying its user of the vulnerability and requesting the user to patch the endpoint. FortiAI generates the message and asks for approval to send. The last thing to ask FortiAI to do is quarantine the endpoint. To do this, approval is required, so click on the Yes button. To validate the endpoint has been quarantined, let's go back to All Endpoints table and select the endpoint. The status in the center column displays quarantined. Thanks for watching.